Okay. Now I can't see anything happening. Okay, it seems like something's happening. So, oops, all right, so I guess I'm here. Let's close this, let's do this here. Doink. Hi, this is a test. Yeah, okay, that's fine. No, I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can figure out how this works. All right, let's do viewer activity. Okay, so I have no viewer activity. Oh, there's the stream settings. All right, that's fine. I don't need to worry about any of that right now. Okay. Stream health. Let's see what this thing says. Stream is healthy. Excellent. Right, okay. I don't do any shopping. I guess I should leave it on viewer activity because that's stream markers on what timestamps you can. Okay, hey. Hi, Kansas. Wow, from Sweden. That's crazy. Okay, good. It seems to be working. Right. Okay, so I can see people and say hi. Hi, Gerald White. Hi from here in the U.S. Wow, okay, cool. This is working. So here, does the stereo seem to be working? Because I kind of wanted to try this out and see what's going on. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Brazil too. Yay, right on. Let's get this in front of the camera. I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to be looking. Worldwide, right on. From Maine. Okay. Wow. You know, my mom was born in Maine. So my grandfather was still in the Navy. Hi from Italy. Wow, I didn't realize I had so many international people here on a Sunday, right? Okay. Canada? Or Canadian in the Philippines. I'm sorry, I just missed it. Wow, okay. So are you there to work or to have fun or whatever, right? You know? So, anyway, hi, Mercury. Okay. All right, this is all right. Okay, hello from Cornwall, England. Wow, more people from England. Cornwall, wow, that's... Cornwall's the West Country, right? Isn't it, like down in that part that's down, you know? Anyway. Hi from Puerto Rico. You know I love Puerto Rico. I've been there on vacation only once, but it was fantastic. Hi, Norway. Groovy, right on. Hello from Georgia. Georgia, the state of Georgia in the California, I mean, excuse me, in the United States, or the country of Georgia over in, you know, the other part of the world. Live stream. All right, yeah. Another person from Brazil. Right on. Cool. Yippee-yay. All right, so I'm not even sure what to do here at this point now. I'm just going to, hello from Belgium. Hello, Belgium. Yeah, trying. That's the thing, Mercury. I'm trying to get in touch with my audience better. I'm going to, so, see, I don't think of live being terribly conducive for ASMR, but it does seem to me that it would be good for just hanging out and saying hi to you guys from period, or, you know, from time to time. You know what I mean? Okay, how about him? I've missed. Hi, Coley Poley, or is it? Yeah, okay. Growl Raw, hi. Hi, Parker from New York. Wow, from Venezuela. Wow, okay, I have a pretty diverse crowd in here. All the best, hope you're feeling good. Yeah, I'm actually, today's a pretty good day. So as far as pain and you know, mental stuff, everything, today's a good day. Okay, country, Georgia, right on, cool. Guten Tag, AC. And from Bristol, wow, right on. Got a cool crowd coming on here. I wish I had some previously planned events or something, you know what I mean? Just so I could like say, hi, how you guys doing? And the like. Yeah. Wow, Micronesia. Crazy cool. When was the last time you didn't have a beard completely shaven? Okay, let's see. I'm 57. My sister then is now 54. So it's 14 years. Her birthday was November 26th. So the 25th of November, back in 14 years ago, was the last time I shaved my beard or shaved my face. Martin Spear, hello from Canterbury. Right on. You know, all you guys in England, you should go check out my friend Steven's, not YouTube, but Facebook thing. He's got some event happening. I think it's, man, I can't remember where it is. He teaches in Chester, though. Anyway, I would like to, I'd like to promote him. He's a really, really good friend of mine. We've known each other since '85. And I count him among, actually probably at this current moment in time, he's probably my dearest friend. Are we going to play some games live or Q&A chats? Right now I'm just doing a chat style. I guess I could try and do a live gameplay thing. Okay, I try to grow a beard, but the wiry beard feels... Yes, your beard will be wiry as it grows out. That's been my experience. Some people get itchy and they just can't stand having a beard. If that's you, I'm sorry for that, dude, but just keep it clean and brush it. Maybe you'll get used to it. Yeah, I mean, I just let mine go. I don't, whatever. Sort of, who cares, right? I'm just, maybe I should give more of a care about my appearance, but anyway, okay, so I wanted to know half of my passing marks in stressful exam periods are thanks to you. Oh, you wanted me to know. Cool. I'm glad I could help, man. That's right on. Any good I can bring into the world is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Isle of Wight. I've been to the Isle of Wight. Mostly just, I was with my friend Steve and another guy named Steve, who we were all three friends. So a Bill and two Steves. We went to hang out in the Isle of Wight. Mostly just as tourists, just to walk around and, yeah. Matthew Whitfield, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I should send a link to Stephen. The easiest thing to do, because I'm not sure how to fiddle with all this stuff live. I'm not sure how much I can get away with doing all this before it will crash. The best thing to do is go see my Facebook thing, because I have posted his stuff before, like a couple of weeks ago. There's black and white photos that I pasted. So go there and look there, and I think I have stuff so you can find his link that way. If that doesn't work, or if you have trouble with that, just send me a private message, Coley-Poly, and I'll put it up again on my Facebook feed, or maybe here on the community feed, or anything like that. And I'm also, if you guys need to contact me, Facebook's the best way. I try to respond. I mean, I'm not always the best, but I'm going to try and be better at it, just because if I want this to grow and be an actual viable channel, then I need to interact with you guys better than I have been. FYI, I feel this to be conducive to ASMR getting... Oh, okay, really cool. Okay, again, is anybody having any issues with the stereo? Is the stereo actually working? Okay, did I ever work in... Oh, hi, Mahomes7262. Did I ever work in radio? Well, I'm glad you like my voice. No, I've never worked in radio. I've thought about it, but it just sort of never... I mean, I did do some stuff about maybe thinking into going to voiceover, trying to do that sort of thing. Yeah, it didn't work out. It's just, and I'm such a weirdo. I have to find things that fit me for it to work. Okay, cool. It looks like the sound is working good. Yay, right on. I'm glad for that. Just let me get my thumb up here in the middle of the camera. Anyway, I keep looking at OBS and then YouTube, and there's the camera, and yikes, it's just odd. Okay, what may become... Okay, hi, Adam. Frankly, just two things. One, I need something to do, because I'm not employed at the moment, so I need something, and it needs to be something that I feel is worth doing, right? Otherwise, I'm just going to go nuts. And the other thing is, I'm broke as fuck because I'm unemployed, and I have noticed that some people seem to do okay with YouTube. Now, I don't know if I'll ever be, a wealthy man off YouTube, but well, here's the thing. I'll give you my fantasy. So I have 3 channels now that I'm trying to get working and have them go kind of, full-time, good, whatever. So my fantasy is, between the 3 of those channels, or those 3 channels, I can get 1 million unique subscribers at some point in, I don't know, it'll take me a few years. I managed to put it together. But if out of that 1 million people, out of that million people, if I could get 10% of them, that's 100,000 people, to just think that what I do is worth $1 a year, right? Then that's $100,000 a year, and it's really it's not hard for anybody else to afford it. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking for a super win-win-win for everybody here. So that's it, I mean, I don't know if it'll work. If it doesn't work that way, I have gotten a couple of bucks here and there. I mean, it's $100 is the threshold, so that's happened twice now since I started monetizing more than 6 months ago. Anyway, so I don't know who, maybe it'll just give me weed money. But if it could turn into something more, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to give it a go. We'll see what will happen, right? Mercury, good. I'm glad both mics coming in. Toasted plastic. Is it possible for you to play Guess the Countries of Oceania by the way the stereo is working? Have I not done the Oceania one already? I thought I had. I can do another one of those, though. Yeah, sure. Well, I know I did do, I thought I did. On the next gameplay, I recorded a gameplay this morning, so it'll get edited and probably put out either later tonight or tomorrow, but I didn't do any of the stuff. So, the next time I do that, I'll throw that in just because I'll try to remember Toasted Plastic. Martin Spear. I'm glad you like the old ones. Sometimes I've toyed with the idea of turning some of them off because, yeah, some of them I just don't like. You know what I mean? Anyway, but you guys like them, so I'll leave them. That's fine. James, is that Lagau or Lagou? I don't know how to pronounce your name, James. Lagueux. I'm assuming that's a U or an ow or something like that from French. Start a Patreon. I've thought about that. The only reason I don't do Patreon is I'm not interested in doing anything behind a paywall. You know what I mean? I want what I make to be available for everybody. So I'm kind of going to do the panhandling model, I think, is what I'm going to start with. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Okay, Mercury, that's why I'm going to give it a go, So basically, I guess what I have to do is to be better at reaching out to you guys and just be consistent and see if I can grow the crowd and, either get ad money or, like I said, there is I turned on the thanks button thing, whatever, which is fine. That would be cool if you guys want to use it at some point in the future. That's groovy. But I'm not looking for a giant thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking for, like I said, a whole bunch of people giving me $1 each would be the fantastic way to do it. Okay, where am I at? Okay, Cocular, is that popular but with Q's? Cocular. I love your voice. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I guess Kyle Drums is agreeing with James. Cool. Toasted. Okay, I'll do you this way. Toasted coconut. How's that? Do you know if your YouTube channel is enabled for channel? Yeah, it is enabled for channel member. Well, I've qualified. I'm eligible for it, right? Yeah, I haven't turned it on yet. Again, because I haven't decided what I could do that would be suitable for a membership thing. And again, I'm not terribly. Oh, hi Milo. I'm not interested in getting things behind a paywall, but we'll see. I mean, I'll interact with you guys, and we'll make this a win-win for everybody, right? Like the number theory and primes, no getting any. I'm not getting any either, so, or not getting any, sorry. I've thought about doing some more math stuff. I might just do it without doing the screen capture stuff and me just babbling, about, some set theory stuff or infinity stuff and, yeah. Well, the time here on the West Coast is 2:42 in the afternoon. And Curzerone or Curzeroni, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I hope if this will relax you enough to get some sleep, then right on, man. How do you find the games you play and videos? Are they very relaxing and minimalist? I think you would find on the main page usually. how do I find them? You mean how do I search them and, that kind of thing? I don't know. I sort of just come across them. Or do you mean how do I find them? Like, do I enjoy them, kind of thing? Yeah, I like mellow logic stuff. When I was a kid, I liked action-packed video games. But when I was a kid, it was the 70s and the 80s. I mean, well, I was 15 in 1980, right? But back then there was arcades. We didn't really have computer games the way we have computer games nowadays. I mean, there were things like Pong. Well, there was more sophisticated things in Pong, but not much. Okay, where am I at? I keep losing my place here on the comments. Show and tell video and the story about the metro train journey held in YouTube equivalent. Thanks, Martin Spear. Rappin' Rambo, hi to Glasgow. I've only been to Edinburgh, the only place in Scotland I've been. You guys have, in Glasgow, you guys have Glaswegians. You have quite a reputation for the booze and the violence. So I don't know, is that a thing? I mean, you're calling yourself Rappin' Rambo. Is booze and violence a thing in Glasgow? The video I enjoy most, Codebreaker. All right, Mercury. Well, I'm gonna try and spread it around, but I'll try to get enough so that you'll have enough that you'll. Oh, the dreams one, Milo. I have to go back and relook at that one because that was if I remember right, I did off of a contest or something, right? Or am I confusing that with a different one? Although the bad thing is I don't use nicotine anymore, and I find that I do occasionally vape with cannabis when I can afford it, but it doesn't make the same noises, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm not going to start using nicotine again just so you guys can have vaping noises. What is your thoughts on I love In-N-Out burgers. I mean, I haven't had one in a long time, but when I used to, a few years ago, many years ago actually, I used to work at a place that there was an In-N-Out burger that was just like blocks. I could walk there, and I ate it probably a couple of times a week. I meant, how do you stumble upon them? Oh yeah, right. I find them like, well, the Sokoban I searched for because somebody had given me a disc back in the 90s that had Sokoban on it when it was a DOS game. Yeah, so there's that. But mostly, I just find them accidentally just looking around, Louis, hello Manchester. I visited there once too. Very much. Yeah, see, that's, you guys get the reputation, right? Rappin' Rambo, right on. Eli Sim, have you ever been in a fight? How did you go? I got into one in 6th grade and broke my ring. I've been in a few fights. How have they gone? I've never been completely beaten, you know what I mean? It's never been like, oh, Bill was a loser. They've usually come out as being pulled apart, and or as an adult a couple of times, but they didn't go far, you know what I mean? It's usually, I got popped in the mouth. Actually, I guess I lost that one. I got popped in the mouth and broke a tooth. I didn't really want the fight, you know what I mean? So I just like, dude, fuck. I just, I mean, it hurt like a motherfucker because like I said, it broke a tooth. And yeah, I don't like fighting. I'm kind of a scrawny guy, so I tend to, want to avoid it. Oh wow, haymaker into a handrail. That's a drag, man. God, a haymaker into a handrail. Oh man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's just holy mackerel. Stutz, hi Bill, great to see you. Right on. Yeah, I'm happy to be uploading. Glad you enjoy this stuff. Just vape oregano for us. I don't know that they do oregano, dude. Oh man. Yeah, so this is kind of, I know, I'll see, how long have I been on now? 20 minutes. I will hang out for a little while more just because this is kind of fun, and I'm not sure I have any real agenda now. Yeah, I am okay. Yeah. Have I got everybody's comments? Have I missed anything? second. Let me go over to here, because I guess I can do this, can't I, and go through. I think I've been able to stay up with everybody. Oh, hang on, maybe not. Okay. Up. Yeah, okay, I don't know. You're visiting San Francisco next month. Everybody, okay, Stutz, yeah, all right. So if you have the time and the money, go to the Exploratorium. It's sort of a science museum that's on the bay on a pier. It's fucking fantastic. Set aside some time just to walk around, right? You know what I mean? Just, check out downtown, walk around. Even go into the Bank District or over by the Pier 1 or up by, Pier 3. I like to just walk around. What else is a good thing to see, though? Go out to the Palace of the Fine Arts. It's not really it's a weird thing, but it's where the Exploratorium used to be. It's a cool old place to check out. Yeah, I mean, I like Ghirardelli Square is good. I mean, there's a lot of touristy things are nice. I like touristy things because I like to people watch. Any of the museums are good if you have the opportunity to do that. If you have there would be the thing. Just, Kurt's on my back from my bed. Do you know anything about Sweden that you want to share with us? Any random? I don't really know much about Sweden. Okay, I'll tell you what I know about Sweden. Let me think about it. I used to be friends with some guys. It's not that I'm not friends with them. I just sort of fell out of touch with them. One of the guys has died. Wow, this is weird. I'm getting to that age now where people are dying. Anyway, they were the Brashear brothers is what we called them. Their mom was Swedish. I can't think of her name. And they used to go back and forth because they have, a lot of family in Sweden. Anyway, this one of them played a thing called the nyckelharpa. And that's, I guess, a Swedish folk instrument. That's crazy. I mean, you play it, it's a stringed instrument with a bow and fingering. It's a weird thing, but it sounds really cool. So if anybody wants to Google the nyckelharpa, I don't know how to spell that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, I don't know much about Sweden. Stockholm's your capital, right? You're way up in the north. It's cold as fuck. Yeah, I should, learn more about more countries and things. Beat Gamer 12 Bill. Yeah, Beat Gamer, hi. Kurtzer 1. Is that how it goes? Kurtzer 1. I'm sorry if I've been totally screwing that up. Mercury, my cat woke me up meowing for no reason. Then I saw your notification. Well, I mean, you should thank your cat then, right? Old graffiti tag. Right on. Cool. Hi, Darby. Perceptions of Creativity. That's a good name. Hello. Hi to you too. Kurtzer 1. Nyckelharpa. Yeah, see, there you go. Go look that up, everybody. It is cool. I mean, I don't know any people who play it or anything like that in a professional sense, but my friend who was into the whole folk music thing was, it was very, very cool. Cammie Campbell. Hi to you, from California back to Scotland. Have I ever played in a band? Yeah, I have. I've played in a bunch of bands. None that you would have heard of. None of them went anywhere. I mean, the one that went probably the most of anywhere is a San Diego band that was called Playground Slap. And that didn't really go. I mean, whatever. I ended up quitting because they existed before I joined, and it was always them and me. You know what I mean? And so I ended up leaving because of that. But I'm still friends with the guy it was his band. His name is Marcelo Radulovic. He actually has a YouTube channel called Titicaca Man, like Titicaca, like the lake in South America. You should go check him out. He's really cool. Any advice on dealing with insecurities? Wow. Okay, see, there's the thing. That's a tough one, isn't it? So there's the thing. You need to try to be honest with yourself and determine if it's an insecurity, i.e. in the thing that you're probably okay, but you're just making it hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Because if that's what's going on, then just try to, get more comfortable with yourself would be the thing, right? Another thing is it an insecurity because people have been beating you with it? You know what I mean? And then it's a matter of, I don't remember if I've ever talked about when I was in 4th grade, and I'll just tell if I've already told this story, then you guys will just get, I'm repeating myself like an old man. Okay, so when I was younger, I was still Mr. kind of counterculture-ish sort of guy. I was always fascinated by hippie psychedelia and weirdness, and so I started even back then when I was a kid. So I wore my hair long. Anyway, picture day came, and you got your pictures taken, and you always get those little the wallet-sized things, and then the things that look like they go in a little frame in the nightstand, and then the big 8x10 that you send your grandma, and that kind of thing, right? And then there's always the class picture. And the school I went to, we didn't do the class picture where they took a picture of the whole class standing together. It was a case of that they just took each of our individual pictures and put them together on like a contact sheet kind of a thing, and you just got everybody's individual shot on there. Anyway, when we got our pictures back, a buddy of mine, his mom saw the class picture, and I was declared the prettiest girl in class. Anyway, I got quite a bit of ribbing, as you might imagine, from that. But the reason I bring all this up, and its silliness, isn't so much that I got confused for being a girl, and that was part of the thing. The ribbing, came like that. But also, there was some of the joke was, in fact, that my friend's mom couldn't tell the difference. You know what I mean? But so there was people that were teasing me about it, like my friend, and it was good-natured and it was funny. You know how friends do that? You bust each other's balls. So that's fine. But then there were other people who were being very, very mean about it. You know what I mean? And so in that regard, like, I've never been insecure about those types of things, because I learned pretty early that fuck them. I mean, if they mean you harm, then why do you give a shit what they think? I mean, I know that's easier said than done. But so if it's an insecurity that's around the way other people treat you, if they treat you shitty to make you feel insecure, then fuck them, right? I mean, if it's your parents, I know you have to figure out a way of like, fuck them, but then you have to still deal with it and all that kind of thing. But you need to, in that regard. And if it's a different kind of insecurity, I'm not sure, man. I'm probably not the best guy to get advice from on this crap. I mean, because it's people saying, oh, suck it up and whatever. I mean, that's, that just doesn't do you any good, does it? You need to have some tools. So try to find a support group, man. Try to find people. It doesn't have to be an official support group like AA or something like that. You know what I mean? Just find, if it can be your friends, and just say, hey, I need to talk about the fact that I'm insecure, whatever. Find some people. Humans need humans. I'm a big believer in that. Governance should be us taking care of ourselves. Advocating agape, all these things are, not to say that I'm good at, practicing agape, but I believe these things to be true. In any case, so Mercury, I hope that you can get some help with that shit. Yeah, there you go. I'll just hope for that, and there you go. Growl rar. It looks like complicated to play. Oh crap! See, now I've lost track. Which thing is complicated to play? Sorry about that. Hey Bill, have you ever heard about the monument mythos? That doesn't ring a bell. That particular label doesn't mean anything to me at the moment. So if it's referred to in another way, maybe I know about it. But as you're referring to it, I don't know how that, yeah. Darby, did the picture guy also have a strange puppet? I don't understand that question. Sorry about that, Darby. And one fact about Sweden is that we have free health care. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's a better way of doing things, right? It's humans should be able to, like, if a person is sick, they should be able to show up and say, hey, I'm sick, please, help me. And we should just do that. We should be educating each other, because an educated society is a better society, right? So I admire that about Sweden. Nickel harpa. Oh, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that being complicated to play. Yeah, I mean, doesn't it look? It's like just crazy. Yeah. I mean, when my friend played it, I was just like, I mean, I'm a guitarist. I play keyboard and I, screw around on percussion. I mean, anybody can play percussion who has hands, right? You don't even need hands. If you can make noise and bang on something, you can play percussion. Now, it doesn't mean you can play it well. It just means you can make some percussive noise. But man, the nickel harp, it just was like, I was amazed at his playing of it just because of what it was, right? Right on, Mercury. Beat Gamer 12. It takes place in an alternate history where James Dean becomes, wow. Okay, no, I don't know anything about that. I'll have to look into it. That seems like a very interesting thing. James Dean not dying in the Porsche 550. Yikes, that would be fantastic. Man, I'd love to have one of those little cars. I'm a bit of a Porsche fanboy. I mean, I've never owned one, but I just admire them for their engineering and shit like that. Oh, the school picture guy. Oh, right. You know those guys that sometimes hold up the thing and say cheese? Nah, he was just a dude that just said say cheese. You know, I saw the people references to that type of thing that you're talking about, like in, media and other places. But nah, I never came across that in real life. Although, man, here's a funny story about school pictures. I was in high school, and so I got to be in a yearbook one year as Jimi Hendrix because I just told them that was my name. My parents weren't buying pictures that year for some reason. We just decided, why give them money? We could just take pictures ourselves, kind of thing, right? You know what I mean? So the only reason I was getting the picture taken was to do the yearbook thing. And I told them my name is Jimi Hendrix on the little card you fill out. Here's the funny thing, though, right? Because, if you know who Jimi Hendrix is, I'm clearly not Jimi Hendrix, right? I suppose somebody could have named me Jimi Hendrix, right? I was wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. So the guy took my picture, and, I don't know. I didn't buy the yearbook, so I don't know. Maybe somebody caught on to it and they didn't get in. I don't know. Yeah, that was funny as fuck. But, yeah. Thomas Hardy, I heard from an old video that you liked. Yes, I do love jazz. Yeah, Bill Evans, fuck yeah, there you go, right? I don't know that particular specific album, but yeah. Yeah, I do like jazz. In particular, well, I'm a Miles fan, so there you go, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, Miles is fucking, I used to be, now I just respect him as a profoundly talented musical person. But I used to be a little bit more God worship. But yeah, no, Bill Evans is a motherfucker, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Have psychedelics affected your view on life and a potential afterlife? If so, how? Absolutely. I think psychedelics have affected my view on life. I don't know about afterlife because I'm not sure what to make of that. You know what I mean? So I kind of just leave that into I don't believe in it because I have no reason to believe in it, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to tell somebody it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It just means I lack belief in an afterlife. However, psychedelics is, there's something about the internal function of your psyche that it seems to help, get in a harmonious state. And it also helps you recognize the potential for a harmonious state in the world among us all, right? Especially with shrooms. I find shrooms really, really helps me. Some people have said it's because of the, the mushrooms, the way they do their mycelium, the interaction that they do with each other, that there's a lot of similarities in, at that kind of fundamental molecular level of humans and mushrooms or something, that there's something going on that it helps our brain see the better picture of the universe. So there you go. I actually believe that psychedelics should be legal. They should absolutely be legal. I don't think people should go around just doing them indiscriminately. They are powerful. And if you're having, issues like around insecurities or something like that, don't do psychedelics. I wouldn't even say to smoke pot if you're feeling terribly insecure. Like, get yourself calm and then do that shit. I don't like the fucking little gamey bullshit that my brain does if I'm super freaked out on something else, and then if I start going down a negative path, it's difficult for me to anyway, so I think psychedelics are great. You should do them, you should respect them. They're powerful chemical. Holy mackerel. Phoenix Force 411. That's crazy generous, man. That is crazy. I appreciate that. You have no idea how helpful that will be to me in various things. Although, probably about a third of it's going to go for weed. Okay, where did I leave off from? Again, Phoenix Force. That's fucking great, man. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to the psychedelics. Growler, have you ever seen a Thierbo, since we're talking about unusual looking? I have not. I'll have to look into that. We all take school pictures. Yeah, we did. I don't know if they still do. Really? Well, I don't know. Of course, remember, Well, I dropped out in my junior year, so that would have been the spring of '82. I was supposed to graduate in the spring of '83 as far as high school, right? So, that was a long time ago. So they may not be doing things like that anymore. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's a waste of money though. It's like, especially nowadays with digital cameras, right? You can take more pictures than you have any sane right and have anything to do with. Yeah, so yeah. Edward Mason, there are sites that keep yearbooks achieved. Your Jimi Hendrix picture could be somewhere in there. Well, check it out. I went to a place called Helix High. I don't know, maybe I'll look into it someday. Yeah, it was Helix High. Crap, that would have maybe been my sophomore year, I think. Either my sophomore or my junior year. Those were the only 2 years I went to Helix High. Okay. Oh, Helix down here. Growl. Yeah, right on, dude. Mahomes. Yeah, no kidding. That's fantastic. Could you describe your most profound psychedelic experience? Man, give me a second to think about that. I'll try to not waste up too much time just with an empty, not talking about anything. Okay, yeah. There was a time, it was when I was still married, and my wife and I, we had some friends that were another couple, and the guy that was part of the other couple, his family had a cabin up in the Cuyamaca Mountains down in Southern California, and we used to go up to that cabin on weekends and eat a bunch of mushrooms and just hang out in the woods and the mountains kind of thing. Anyway, we were doing that one time, and I was feeling a little overwhelmed at some point. Well, anyway, we bought a bunch of mushrooms, and everybody took some mushrooms, like what they figured would be a decent dosage for the party, but we just bought a big bag. I don't remember how many there were. And everybody had eaten what they were going to eat, apparently. And I'm looking at this bag, and I'm the last one. I'm like, have you guys eaten everything? And that you want to eat? And they were like, yeah. And so I jokingly initially said, I'm going to just eat the rest of these. And then the other dude said, wouldn't that be crazy? So I did. Anyway, at one point we were listening to the Pink Floyd album, Amaguma, and I was feeling very much overwhelmed, and I went and sort of laid down, and I was having what is often called the internal movies, where you close your eyes and just weird things start happening. And when I was in that state of mind and I was observing that it was incredibly fractal in nature, and I honestly felt that I understood the absolute deep fractal nature of the universe, and it was weird. I mean, I can't really do it any more justice than that. I was able to bring some things back with me that is specifically to do with the fractal nature of the world. Like, for example, when people talk about science and the scientific model, a lot of times they have this impression that it's an asymptotic approach, right? This is the more we do, we get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to this reality thing. And I don't think that's what's happening. I think the universe is way more fractal than that. And I think, because when you're looking at a fractal zoom, those things, you're just changing magnification, right? You're not going anywhere. There's no traveling. You're not moving. You're just changing magnification. And that's the way I kind of viewed a lot of parts of the world. And that's down to that one experience with psychedelics and mushrooms. So it had a lasting impact and a meaningful one. Yeah. Anyway, so where... Oh, I missed... is it Amini or M? It looks like anime, but with the M and the N mixed up. Amin. So do I know anything about Islam? Barely anything. And off the top of my head right now, my brain is kind of in a fog about it. I mean, I know that you're supposed to do the pilgrimage. Yeah, that's the only thing. I know that there's some set things you're supposed to do, like at least once in your life. And a lot of it has, and there's some things I know that have to do with like participating in charity and all of this kind of thing. And I understand that it fundamentally, it's an Abrahamic religion, right? So there's a lot of similarity, at least on a weird, that it's a single God, that's the, the same God of Abraham that made the universe, etc. But anything more than that, I'm not comfortable talking on because I don't want to misspeak. I'm not interested in disrespecting any religion. Anyway, so let's, where am I going on here? Good to see you, Brian Peterson. Peterson with a D, I'm not sure. And HBDD, hi, how you doing? Nice little heart thing there. Well, it's good to know I've been missed. I'm hoping that you won't be doing that anymore. Does not uploading plague you in some level psychologically? You mean like if I don't upload, I get anxious kind of thing? Not so much directly. I have negative issues like if I'm not doing things creatively. So, I mean, I imagine that it will be that way when I start being more consistently with uploading, because then that will become to be equated with, my, behaviors about creative output, which I've been, I haven't really been doing. So that's probably been playing into a lot of my, bad mental health. Yeah, when people say that, the creative types and arty types and musical types and dance types or whatever, they say that, that we really need to do it. There's something to that. Like, I can eke out an existence and not be doing creative things, and I can be living as an organism, but I'm not living as a human. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I hope that was useful to you. Nostalgic. Ben Jones. I'm sorry. My brain just pulled a trick on me. Hi. On the subject of psychedelics, acid helped me steer my life back around. I said, yeah, Darby, that's great. I'm glad that had that effect on you. You know that since you brought up acid, like Cary Grant was a big proponent of LSD as a psychological tool. He'd use it with the psychologist or psychiatrist for a long time and was absolutely into it. Thought it was super valuable. Yeah, so it's the fact that we made it illegal it was basically to be against the counterculture, right? Those damn hippies. I mean, that's really what it came down to. I mean, it's even with cannabis as well. I mean, cannabis compared to alcohol is just, anyway, I don't want to go down that road. It's just, alcohol is so much more damaging to the human body than cannabis, and also psychologically, and it's been my observation. People go, oh, it's a gateway drug. It's like, nah, alcohol. Myself, I did more. I mean, I used to smoke weed as a teenager, and that was it. I kind of fell out of it for a minute. I started drinking booze, and that's when I started. Well, no, I did hallucinogens without alcohol, but like doing speed for a long time, I was really irresponsible about eating other people's pills and shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. So, yeah. Anyway, let me get back to where am I going? I feel like I'm losing track of what's going on here. Anyway, so I'm glad that you were able to get some good out of it. Anyway, okay, so Austin Ross, for all the years of good content. Well, I'm glad you like Story of the Train Ride. That I'm actually really proud of that one. I think that's a good one. Not just because I like the story, but I think that one technically turned out well too. Well, thank you, Nostalgic. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. And Mahomes, what are your thoughts on MDMA? Oh, that's the, okay, now I get these. Is MDMA is the same thing that's in the ecstasy thing? Because if that's the case, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't done it in, it was back right around, late 90s, I guess. And then I think the last time I did it was back in 98 in Utrecht. Have I done it since? No, I've done it since then in San Francisco. Okay, yeah, but it was early 2000s. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Art is breathing. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like Regina Phalange. Hello, Bill. How wonderful is it? Yeah, nice to be here. Bose A456. How do we feel about a certain somebody recently being indicted? I'm fine with him being indicted. He should be indicted. I mean, he's obviously, the criminality of that man, to my mind, is so obvious. And if he's not held accountable, it will be damaging to our system. But that doesn't seem to matter to a certain collection of political entities. I mean, like currently what they're trying to do with, the economy, like the whole debt ceiling and all of that. It's like, I mean, it's purposeful dissemination of information that's wrong about how that stuff works. And it's done just for, political nonsense. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, so I'm glad he's indicted. What memories, oops, hang on, where am I at here? What memories make me the most nostalgic? I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that right now. If I don't come back to it, Mercury, remind me again in a few minutes when I get through some of these more comments, and I'll see if I can think of something. Because right now I'm just drawing a blank. I'm really sorry. Am I in a shed? No, I'm in a converted living space. I guess what it is I came back to the family home a few years ago. It was just before my mom died, and it was actually sort of a win-win for me. I wanted to relocate temporarily because of my back. I wanted to quit the job I had because it was just killing me, and physically, because I did a lot of warehouse work, and it was killing me to lift shit. Anyway, so I moved back here, and because my dad wanted the family to be closer together, because it was clear that my mom didn't have that many years left, you know what I mean? So anyway, I did come back in time, and I did get to spend some time with her in the last couple of years of her life, and that was valuable. Anyway, but my back and general health went bad as I was here. And anyway, but when I got here, I made a deal with my dad. I took over their garage and basement. It's like there was a garage and there was a wall in the garage, and behind that there was a basement kind of area because the house is on a hill. Anyway, so I just took over the whole space and kind of converted it and built myself a bathroom, and I've got an area with a microwave and the like, so I can basically kind of keep to myself, and it's a live workspace. At least that's what I'm trying to turn it into, is a live workspace. All right, so let's see where. So I'm not in the shed. Frankenstein, great name. Zalinga, hi. Derek Levitt, I can't stay for long, just noticed it was up, but I'm glad to see that. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch it, and much love back to Vancouver. And I hope you get on with whatever it is that you're doing, right? Great Scott, great name. Man, I can't stick around because I'm in Australia. Man, all right, well, I'm glad that you posted a thing. I'm glad you're able to at least catch it and say hi. Anyway, there you go, have a good day. And Alex R., how you listen to music, collect vinyl. I don't collect vinyl. I never really had that big of a collection because I was always kind of broke, and I had to decide, did I want to buy vinyl or did I want to buy, gear, that kind of thing. Like, do I want a chorus or a wah-wah pedal, or do I want vinyl? You know what I mean? Anyway. So I mostly listen via streaming nowadays. I do have some CDs, although I currently, I guess I do have a machine that'll play discs. But see, there you go. I don't listen to them very often anymore. And actually, mostly a lot of times, well, here's the two things. The two things I listen to most are, what is it called? Let me look at it real quick. I can't freaking think of the name of it. I guess SoundCloud, that's it. And also Pandora, that's the sort of the radio thing I like to listen to. I don't know. Lately I've found that very kind of enjoyable, really, like to kind of not curate my own listening, you know what I mean? Leave it to somebody. So I try to find and pick channels that either are something I think will be good, or I have in the past has been good, or, maybe I'll do soon I'll do another, I'll do a video thing, and I'll go over all my, the stations that I have in Pandora or whatever, and talk about music in that way a little bit. But I like vinyl. I mean, vinyl, I don't believe vinyl sounds better than digital. But, if you like vinyl, the sound of vinyl can be okay. I find vinyl, I enjoy it because of it's a unique experience of stuff, not just the listening of it, but the whole, taking out the record from the sleeve and putting it on the table. And there's a whole sort of thing about that that's kind of appealing and nostalgic. Do I speak any languages other than English and wizards? Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch. And I'm sure I've said that poorly. I used to study German in high school and a little bit in college, but that's been since probably 30 years, I keep telling myself someday I'm gonna put in the effort and brush up my German and maybe even try to learn another language, but yeah, I never get around to it. What do you like to read? Have I read any? I haven't read anything lately. I don't know why, I just haven't been in the mood. I picked up a couple of books that I've read in the past, just try to do a reread to see if I can get my enthusiasm into it. Yeah, I don't know, I just haven't been reading lately. Actually, I haven't been doing much of, I haven't been watching movies lately either. I mostly just consume YouTube, music, and then occasionally I'll look on, online for other things just to, look kind of in the Hulu. I used to use Netflix, I don't anymore because I couldn't afford it. Anyway, let's see who else do we have here that's, okay, here we go. Okay, Darby, have a great night's sleep, and I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Okay, so MDMA is meth. All right, then I don't really, I've done meth. I don't, care for meth. I kind of had fun with it for a while when I was younger, but then it was never my thing. It's just, you just feel too crappy afterwards, you know what I mean? And so the fun you have on it is not worth the price you pay later. And it's really, really hard on the human body. It's just a bad drug to do. So I guess I misunderstood. I thought MDMA might be the chemical that's behind ecstasy. But if it's not, then okay, whatever. I should probably know more about all these names. You would think I would, given my experiences over the years. But there's a lot of things I just don't. It's not worth my keeping track of. Kreen Kuber, greetings from Germany. V. Gates. Do I have any interesting conversation? I only went to chat GGPT once, and it was actually fairly recently. Because I haven't really checked it out, and I thought I should go check it out. So I didn't, and nothing really happened that was all that earth-shattering. I just was, I just wanted to see what it was like. I kind of want to go back and check it out some more. I just need, before I go there, I want to have something in mind to do, right, where I will accomplish something. Either something about me learning more about AI, or actually leveraging the interaction with the AI for some creative purpose. But yeah, so, I'll have to, if I do come up with anything cool, it will find its way into my stuff here, you know what I mean? And I'll let you guys know that that's where it came from, if and when that happens. Austin Ross, my most nostalgic memory for me is Grandma taking me and my siblings out to Hawaiian Falls Water Park. Along those lines, that just gave me some nostalgic stuff, because when I was a kid, we used to spend almost all of our vacations down in the San Diego area. And I went to a year-round school, which was really cool, because we'd be on for 9 weeks, off for 4 weeks, roughly like that. It wasn't exactly that way, but that kind of thing. And as you may know, San Diego has really good weather pretty much year-round. There's times you can go to the beach in the winter, you know what I mean? It's not the same as in the summer, but yeah. Anyway, so... and there was this one place we used to go at Mission Bay to go do swimming on the beach when I was a young kid, because the waves were like, when you compare the bay to the ocean, right? You dig what I'm saying? And so when we were very young, it was a little easier for us to manage, not getting knocked over by waves and shit. And I used to really like that. And here's the thing, when I first learned to swim, right, I didn't like going out very far, right, you know what I mean? So, like, I kept on doing this thing where, like, I'd swim, and it would be just deep enough for me to swim. So it was, like, sometimes, like, oh, crap, because I could touch my hand on the bottom. It was like, oh, I got to get a little deeper than that, because I was so, like, for some reason, I got this fear of drowning in my head for some weird reason. And, it's like, I guess that's not weird. Drowning is bad. But, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. It was kind of amusing. But, yeah, that's, anything that has to do with deep family connection like that can be nostalgic, can't it? And that's the kind of the thing, family's a terribly important thing for me. So, yeah, anyway, okay. Which genres do I like? I like most things, you know what I mean? I'll tell you the things that I kind of stray away from. Certain types of slick top 40, I lose patience with, or not that I lose patience, I lose interest in it. Similarly with a lot of country music, I lose interest in it pretty quickly for a lot of the similar reasons. Actually, there's a lot of things. Pick a thing, whether it's R&B or country or pop or rock or whatever. If it's top 40-ish stuff, I tend to lose interest in it. A lot of it's not terribly interesting. Now, having said that, there is stuff that's okay. I can't bring anything to mind right now, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a little monster or whatever it is that Lady Gaga calls her fans, but I do appreciate a certain amount of her music. She's a great singer, and she has a tremendous sense of how popular media culture works, as far as so she's pretty smart about that. But okay, so as far as other genres that I actually like, I like jazz, I like rock, I like classical, I like really old, I guess it kind of falls under the umbrella of classical a lot if you go to the record store, but religious music from like the Renaissance and earlier, like Hildegard von Bingen and stuff like that, Thomas Tallis, that kind of thing. I like to expose myself to musics from other places, you know what I mean? Like I always forget how to pronounce the various names, but there's a bunch of Asian harps I like that are kind of similar to, I think one of them is called the koto, K-O-T-O, I think that's a Japanese one. I like a lot of that. I like certain African music I've been exposed to that I enjoy. Yeah, so I like most things, you know what I mean? If you're a musician, you tend to like things. If there's anything in it that's, useful musically, then you're going to like it, right? THNS77, hello to you back, and greetings from California to France. Okay, let's do, holy mackerel, a bunch of comments just came in, I need to catch back up here. Okay, okay, here we go. If you like Pandora, Spotify, and Apple Music, each have a library that dwarfs the size of Pandora's. Algorithms are a lot more accurate too, way fewer repeated tracks. I'll look into that. I used Spotify a few years ago and I didn't like it, so that's why I stopped using it. I don't use Apple Music because I don't like Apple, but I'll look into Spotify again just to see if I prefer it. Tom Perry, hi Bill, glad to see you again. Well, I'm glad I could be a source of comfort to you, Tom. That's a groovy thing, and I'm sorry that you're having to go through some harsh shit. I hope you can find comfort and, not just in my videos, but in real life. You know what I mean? Get some people that can provide support and comfort for you. That's the best solution I can offer anybody, I think. Any non-ASMR YouTubers you'd like to recommend? Okay, yeah, I can give you a couple of those. Mathologer. Sabine Hassenfelder. Who is it? Hassenfelder? I think it's Hassenfelder. She's a German physicist that does a YouTube channel. She started off just kind of basically doing, science stuff that was pretty directly about her skill set and whatnot. And she's expanded because she's smart and she's doing well on YouTube, so why not? Yeah, so her, Mathologer. Who else do I really like? The modern hermeticist or hermetic, or what's his freaking name? I think it's the modern hermeticist. He's a scholar about, his main thing I think is a thing called the Picatrix, which is a particular thing about magic, but it's magic from the perspective from a long time ago. You know what I mean? They viewed the world differently than we view the world. Anyway, if you are interested in religious and esoteric type scholarship at all, he's really, really good. Esoterica is really, really good. And Let's Talk Religion is also really, really good. So, I try to maintain a certain educational standard about, if I'm curious about these things, I feel I should know about them. I know there's probably more. That's just what's coming to my mind right now. And okay, do I watch anime? Did you ever watch any? I used to watch anime. Okay, there's one that I watched. Okay, I used to watch anime because of my nieces and nephew. Well, okay, let's back up. I used to watch anime as a kid even, because back in the day there was Speed Racer and shit, you know what I mean? And that's, the same thing. It's just, not as pervasive then as it is now. And there was also a thing called Marine Boy I used to watch. This is all back late 60s, early 70s. But I didn't think of them as anime, right? We just thought of them as cartoons. But then I didn't start watching it again as an adult until my sister's kids got into it. And I would I'd go visit her house and hang out with them, and I'd watch a little bit of it there. And you kind of get hooked, don't you? So what I'm trying to think of things I used to watch with them. Okay, well, one of them, man, I'm gonna screw it up. It's initials. It's like RGB. I think it's to do with colors, like red, green, blue, something. And it's these 4 girls, and they do. It's kind of supernatural, kind of, well, all that stuff isn't it? Whatever. Yeah, and then there's was it Death Note? Is that one of them? Oh, I love One Punch Man. I totally love One Punch Man. He is fantastic. Right now, I occasionally watch him still. Every once in a while I'll go back to it. I don't remember who turned me on to him, whether it was my niece or one of my nieces or my nephew or I guess nephews, right? So I've got 3 nieces and 2 nephews. Yeah, I love One Punch Man. Okay, my guitar setup isn't really a setup. I have a little Digitech effects box. I have some other effects box. So basically it's effects box either plugged directly into my interface. I have a couple of amps, but they're not mine really. I don't know how I have possession of them. No, one of them is mine because a guy gave it to me, and it's a little crappy little solid state practice thing. And I have one that used to be my amp when I played in bands, but it's dead and I don't have the money to get it fixed. It's a solid state thing too, but it was this pig nose thing that I really liked, because I couldn't afford decent tube amps back in the day. But the 2 guitars I use is my Rickenbacker 620, which is, I don't remember the year, it's mid-70s, late 70s, something like that. And then I have a EVH that I bought, probably 2015, 2016. It's a Wolfgang. It's the inexpensive one from Indonesia. I like it though. I'm really impressed. It's a total giggable guitar for like $600 or $500 or something like that. Completely giggable guitar. It's crazy. Although, thinking of that, I think I'd like to get, there's a box Boss makes that's like an amp modeler type thing. I'd like to get because it's fairly inexpensive and it looks like something I could plug directly in either USB or through my interface and get decent, at least until I can have a lot of money and buy some fantasy sort of rig. Gert Jan de Warm. Hi Bill, greetings from the Netherlands, right? You said you were in several times, but okay, actually twice. I was there in 90, the winter of 92, spring of 90. No, actually, I guess I'll just say the winter of 93 at the beginning of it, January, right? Because I didn't get there in December. It was in January when I arrived. And then in 98. So those are the 2 times I went. And I was there for 3 months each. Well, not the second time, not quite 3 months. I left a little early because I had a falling out with the guy that I went there to work with. So my favorite place, actually, Utrecht was a really cool place just to hang out and walk around in, and there was a few little bars and cafes I liked. One in Utrecht that was there on Predikerenstraat. I lived at 23 Predikerenstraat in Utrecht, and there was a place, I don't know if it's still there, it was down the way a little bit, that was it was called Le View. I used to hang out there quite a bit. It was just a little hole-in-the-wall bar. But anyway, other than that, just sort of hanging out neighborhood-wise. I liked Amsterdam for nightlife and just walking around. I used to go to this place called the Empire Bar. A woman I knew named Ian. She used to also work at a record store we used to go to. Man, I can't think of the name of it. But we used to go hang out at the Empire Bar in Amsterdam. And Melkweg, is that in Amsterdam? The performance place? You know, Milky Way or whatever, Melkweg. I saw a couple of really good shows there. And I can't even think of who the names were. It's just people, somebody said, hey, we should go to the show. It's really good. And I said, okay, let's go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Austin Ross. Yeah, see, I thought MDA was ecstasy, right? MDMA. I mean, I know that my brain forgets things a lot. But yeah, I didn't think that meth was and MDMA were the same thing. I mean, I don't know that I would recognize the chemicals shit for methamphetamine, but yeah, probably not, right? Yeah, anyway. Hey, Kenny, glad to see you're here. Right on. If you'd always learned something, you seem pleasant. Okay, hang on. I lost the fucking... I have to go back up and look at nostalgia because I forgot. Oh, okay, there you go. Right. Okay, I had to pick up the conversation again. Okay, so where am I at now? I've lost my place. Okay, here we go. I think this is where... How do I get to collab with Ephemeral Rift? You know, I don't remember exactly how that started. Well, okay, here's how it got started, and then I don't remember exactly how it escalated. But okay, so I made a couple of videos, and I was like a nobody. And the only reason I got any traction, I believe, is largely due to ER and Maria. Because Maria said nice things about me early on, which a lot of people just came and said, hi, Maria said you were good, so I came here, you know, that kind of thing. And Maria, she's a fantastic human. I really like her. Anyway, a similar thing happened with Paul, although he did it through a video, right? And it was this thing, he's in this leather jacket. I can't remember the name of it. And it's sort of this kind of alluded to this kind of apocalyptic kind of thing going on, right? You know, anyway, so he kind of referred to me and this guy that's like, you know, so he was complimenting my ASMR skills, but doing it in the context of his role play. And it was really, really cool. It really worked. Anyway, because of that somehow, I don't remember which one of us reached out to the other one first, but we got along really well. And I had kind of had this weird dual idea in the back of my head, and I mentioned it to him, and so then we fleshed it out, and well, it turned into the fantastic thing that you see, right? I mean, he's a, well, I've said before, I'll say it again, he's super freaking talented filmmaker. Yeah, you know, and it's a, Gerard, it's a, you know, I think it's a good video. I just wish that I was better. Like, I don't think my sound quality is, well, it's not as good as his, but I think it detracts from the video. I mean, I think we should have waited until I was better. You know what I mean? But, you know, yeah, you know, we do what we can. Uru Ginty, hey, Bill, cool to catch it. Yeah, God, you could catch it. Yeah, you know, I had heard that Austin, that she was classically trained. I also saw her sing with Tony Bennett. I mean, that was the thing, right? I wasn't really familiar with her very much. I didn't really pay much attention. She had hit songs on the radio, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of catchy, but, you know, whatever. I really didn't, you know, think about it that much or even pay attention to her until I saw a clip of the thing that she did with Tony Bennett, and I was gobsmacked. Well, Tony Bennett's an amazing dude. I mean, like, I know people like to, you know, like Frank Sinatra, this and that, but man, Tony Bennett, Mel Torme, Nat King Cole, those guys are all way better than Frank Sinatra, in my opinion. But that's just me. Yeah, but Gaga, yeah, she's, yeah, I totally believe that she's classically trained. It makes fucking sense. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. For the as far as the Apple Music thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've had issues in the past with Apple products. I mean, I've never owned them, but I worked for people who had them, and so I had to use them in context for a job. And yeah, whatever. You know, whatever. If it works for you, it works for you, fine. You know what I mean? Tools are tools. But anyway, so I just, because of that, I tend to just, you know, avoid Apple. S involved. Okay, I'll look into that. I don't know that doesn't ring a bell for me right now, so I will definitely look into that. Cheese Whiz, happy to briefly catch a live stream. Thank you for everything. Well, I'm happy to provide it for you, even if it is just briefly. Although it's going on for a while here now, it's more than an hour. Actually, what time is it? Oh, okay, I'm fine. I can stay for a few more minutes. Let's see. Bob, okay, you know, I'm glad you like the beard. Right on, dude. This is for Bose A456. Yeah, you know, those types of college classes. See, if anybody's in college, I mean, I would recommend, you know, I'm not that excited about college being a thing for people to get jobs from it. I think college should be a thing about getting a liberal arts education. But so go take non-Western art, go take non-Western music, you go take, you know, a philosophy of art class, go take, you know, intro to drawing or any, you know, anything. I mean, I took a lot of those types of classes, which is why I'm rattling them off the top of my head, because I think, you know, you should, you know. Anyway, yeah, so I'm glad you took that class. I'm glad it did good for you, man. See, stuff like that's good for your brain, right? You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's good for humans to improve their brains. Okay, Kieran Johnston. I'm probably mispronouncing that, aren't I, Kieran? That makes me think, is that a Celt type name, like from Ireland or something like that, maybe? I don't know, it just kind of has that sound to it to me. If I'm screwing that up, let me know. But what's my day-to-day life like? My life is not terribly exciting, mostly just because I'm broke as fuck and I can't do anything. So mostly I hang out. I try to help my dad with things around the house. I try to be helpful to my sister if I can, because since I'm unemployed, I just have to try to be useful. I'm trying to, you know, turn this into a job, maybe, right? You know, if I can get it to make enough income to be such. But yeah, so I try to keep my days as relaxing as possible, just because it's better for my mental and physical health both. Okay, so Pale Crow is saying MDMA stands for 3,4-methylene methamphetamine. Okay, well, there's clearly then a speed molecule attached onto that thing, isn't there? Tom Perry, thanks for responding, man. Really appreciate it. Good. I'm glad that, man. I'm glad that, you know, that's a good thing. I'm glad, Tom. Christopher Warnock. Why do I know that name? I'm drawing a blank. Memes95. Okay, now we got another person saying that MDMA is meth. Okay, so Diego pulled a message. All right, well, that's fine. All right, well, you know what? After this is over with, I'm going to go look up the MDMA thing just out of my own personal curiosity, because I was sure that that was ecstasy, but if you're saying with some confidence that it's meth, then I'm going to have to rethink my understanding of those things. Yes, that's it, Iron Skull. Yes, RWBY. I really like that one. I really, really like that one. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about the plot right now. My emotional memory of the thing is that I really, really enjoyed it. Well, and here's the thing. I realize that this is not politically correct or any such thing, but I'm a 57-year-old man, and I like looking at sexualized representations of women. Like one of my favorite types of movies to watch is what I call Hot Chicks Kick Ass. So think Aeon Flux, Serenity, what is it, Wing Chun, stuff like that. If it's as a hot, like, I know that there's an entire sort of existence of a woman's demographic that is currently eschewing the idea of the prince rescues the princess kind of thing, which I understand, because it's been beat to death, hasn't it? Right, and it only shows a particular sort of limited perspective. But now, having said that, I like the idea of the turnaround. I would absolutely love for a hot chick to come rescue me fucking out of anything. You know what I mean? But maybe that's because I'm a dirty old man. And, actually, I'm not that dirty. I'm sexually celibate. So, but, I have an imagination. And Ben, yeah, One Punch Man is fucking great in Austin, yeah. Urginti, what's my favorite animal? Interesting. I don't know if I have a favorite animal, so let me think about it for a quick second just to come up with a thing that might be amusing to think about. Okay, recently I saw a thing, what's the guy's name? I think it's Casual Geographic or something like that. It's this young dude, and he's doing, it's odd because I'm pretty sure it's like something like Casual Geographic, but he mostly does, that I've seen anyway, is biological stuff. It's like about animal kingdom stuff, right? Anyway, he did a video on honey badgers, and holy mackerel. I mean, they're not my favorite in the sense that I want to hang out with one, but they're my favorite in the sense that they, impacted my psyche the most recently. You know what I mean? But they're just nuts. They're just, they're just incomprehensibly just, I don't know what. I don't want to say evil because I don't know if that's the case. Animals being evil is just ridiculous. But man, they don't seem to give a fuck about anything else on the damn planet. I mean, what is it? Is it leopards that drag their prey up into the trees to keep it away from like hyenas and lions and shit? But the point of it is that if it's whichever cat it is, I'm pretty sure it's the leopard. They're just insanely strong. Like the ability that they can drag something up a tree like that is just nuts. The strength that's necessary for that is just crazy. And honey badgers don't care. They will go up there, climb the tree, and steal the food. They'll stand at the guy's coming back to get his food back and fight you for his food. And he'll wait till the last possible minute before he gives up and stops eating the guy's food. It's just holy mackerel. Okay, so Austin, any guitar is a giggable. Well, that's true. I suppose that's true, right? But what I mean by giggable guitar is that you can do it and your hand's not going to get fucked up and tired. And I think you know what I mean, though. I mean, the action on it is fine. The neck shape is fine. The frets, I mean, they're not perfect as far as the rounded on the edges, but they're good enough. I mean, they're better than some guitars that I've played that were a lot more expensive. Yeah, I'm just, for the price, I'm just really, really impressed. Yeah, Melkvek, I was almost sure that was in Amsterdam, so thanks for confirming that for me. Thanks. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we go. Yeah, see, okay, I'm going to stop with the back and forth on the MDMA, right? You guys can have at it. Here's the thing I'll tell you. If somebody were to offer me ecstasy, I would say yes. If somebody were to offer me crystal meth, I will say no. Right, there you go. If that helps anybody out with their Alexors. Hello, did I get that right? Okay, well, right on, Austin. There you go. No, Tom, I'm not really in touch with Paul anymore, or Ephemeral Rift. Maybe I should reach out to him. We haven't spoken in, it's literally been years. Yeah, I should probably try and do that. I've just been so caught up in my own stuff trying to get this stuff off the ground that, maybe I'll do that after I'm more settled, and maybe even when I get settled enough to the idea of talking about another collaboration with him, maybe that'll be. Now, having said that, I don't want you guys getting all excited. I don't want to, get some unrealistic expectations going. This is just stuff that I'm thinking about in my brain. So let's just leave it at that. It's just musings at this point. Dotton, been a long time. Lovely to see you doing. Thank you, Dotton. Hope you're doing well as too. Not super science. Gotta love a legend. Yeah, I'm glad you consider me a legend. I don't know if it's warranted, but I'll take the compliment. An anonymous user. Oh, for old school heavy metal, yeah. So when I was young, I actually liked heavy metal quite a bit, at least what we called heavy metal back then, which would have been like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. Yes, I've seen Black Sabbath. I guess more than once, twice, I guess. Because I saw them for, it was at one of the Days on the Green. It was one that they did with, holy mackerel, I think it was Black Sabbath with like Cheap Trick or something like that. It was a weird gig. I liked it, but those Days on the Green in Oakland, they used to just have a bunch of bands. It was like an all-day sort of thing. It was fantastic. It's too bad they don't do that kind of thing anymore. Yeah, so I used to like that. I was very much into like Iron Maiden and especially back in the days of yeah, I like that stuff. Yeah, I can't just remember any. I was going to say something about personnel of Iron Maiden, but I can't. I can't think of that. I liked both singers, frankly. Um, yeah. Anyway, I also like the Scorpions quite a bit. Although I don't know if you really want to put them in metal. But it was a lot back in the day. It was a lot different than now, right? There was a lot of people that would have called AC/DC metal back then, and I don't think a lot of people call AC/DC metal anymore. But labels are labels, right? It's all really just where to put the album in the fucking bin in the record store, isn't it? Um, B-boy, hello. What's going on here? Stop doing that. There we go. Okay, where'd we go? Hello, B-boy. Okay. Yeah, the honey badger, right? Okay, here we go. Badass. Okay. Leopards are my favorite. Yeah, right. I thought it was the leopards. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway. Oh, Alan Holdsworth is, yeah, I love Alan Holdsworth. See, here's the thing. There's a particular universe that he owns. I mean, that there's a particular kind of fusion legato guitar playing that I don't think anybody else should bother. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, what are you going to do that he doesn't do? You know what I mean? He just, well, you should play whatever you want to play. But he just, that particular style of thing that he does, he just commands it beyond, whatever. Lynx is pretty crazy too. I don't know if I would consider a lynx a big cat, though, right? Yeah. Anyway, who knows? Dalton, yeah, I imagine that was a really good show. Was it when you saw Holdsworth? Was it in a pretty intimate venue, or was it a big thing? I would imagine it would have been pretty intimate because he seems to, that seems to be the kind of crowd he has, and also the kind of. I mean, he's not like Led Zeppelin superstar size, right? You know what I mean? But that would probably be pretty freaking amazing. I'm a little bit jealous. Okay. So here we go. So where am I going here? Okay, here we go. So let's see. An anonymous user, Paul Diano. All right, now I've lost the plot on that. I don't remember why that would be significant. Sorry about that. Studio Trigger is also behind Cyberpunk. I should look into that. I haven't really looked into any anime recently. I should, probably, because I have enjoyed it, right? So why not look, see if any new stuff is. Yeah, that's right. I forgot Alan's dead, isn't he? Fuck. Man, doesn't that just bum you out when you remember a thing like that? Rayashino, hi to you too. Oh, okay. How I came up with my name. Well, here it was. Like I used to be in bands, right? So that's the thing is like there's this thing about people that have been in bands. You kind of have this weird thing of like, oh, I'm going to think of a band name. I want to think of a band name. So I was kind of doing that sort of mind, sort of trick with myself, or not really a trick, but whatever. And yeah, so I was trying to figure out a thing, and then somehow it just came to my head. I'm not sure what it was that, it was just sort of a random spark of inspiration, I guess. Um, and initially, I was just going to make it be MaxVoxPax. And I don't know. I mean, the more I thought about it, I thought I should put Bill in there. And, I debated about that because a lot of people still look at it as Bill and then MaxVoxPax as being like a fictional last name, right? Like it's a stage name or something. And that's never really the way I looked at it, but I kind of knew people were going to take it that way. And I did it anyway, right? Yeah, anyway, so whatever. It's a name. But yeah, I just, I wanted to have something that kind of alluded to what I was doing, but at the same time sounded slick to me anyway, right? I thought I had a cool sort of pop appeal, I guess. Wow, Dotton, I am definitely jealous. That's just nuts. That's such a cool thing. All right, James, another vote for me checking that stuff out. Yeah, you pretty much got it, Austin. That's kind of the thing, isn't it? That's basically the gist of the name. Um, Jazz fusion. Well, there you go, right? I mean, I guess my voice does have that old school jazz DJ sound to it, doesn't it? Well, you know what? On that note, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a done thing. Um, just because I have things that I need to do coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock, and it's getting up on 4 o'clock now. I'm actually going to be probably a little bit late. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'll come back and check out the last straggling comments here, because I have this thing set. It's supposed to go. It's not supposed to be turned off, right? It's supposed to be available immediately after. Anyway, so I will talk to you guys